Defender of the Crown is a strategy game first released in the Commodore Amiga in 1986. The original version was the first title released by the company Cinemaware, which would go on to produce only one other game that I even recognize the name of. Yeah, the Three Stooges game. To be fair, the Three Stooges is not as bad as certain angry video game reviewers have made it out to be. But let's save that for another video. Today we're talking about the NES release of Defender of the Crown. While the original had far superior graphics, the rush to release left several gameplay elements unfinished. Thus, the NES port actually has improved gameplay, but at the cost of reduced visuals and debatably sound. The port was developed by Beam Software, an Australian team who had experience developing games for microcomputers, and was published by Ultra, a shell company Konami created to get around Nintendo of America's strict licensing rules. The storyline to Defender of the Crown is simple. It is the year 1149. You are an English noble returning from the Crusades. On the way home, you get a visit from Robin Hood, who tells you that the king has been assassinated and the crown has gone missing. You and the other nobles wage war over who will be king. Your goal is to win that war and bring peace back to England. The game plays out much like a board game in that it is broken up into turns. Each turn you may take one action, such as buy troops, move your army, call a tournament, or go raiding. The different actions are resolved through minigames. Unfortunately, while the game has decent graphics for an NES game, the controls are clunky and unresponsive. It takes some serious effort to get good at this game, and even then you can get royally screwed over by RNG and your idiotic AI allies. But enough with the intro, let's play the game. Alright, we're going to play some Defender of the Crown. I'm going to skip through the music, skip through the story. You can always read that on your own. And I'm just going to explain how I play the game. There's a good chance that I'm going to lose because this game is crazy difficult, but I'll show you some of my basic strategies. And so character-wise, we have Wilfred. He's pretty average. They say he's best for the beginning players, and I would agree with that. Geoffrey Longsword, never really played him much, but he seems decent. Cedric seems like the one who should be the best because leadership is your most important stat, and jousting's not as important. However, usually when I play Cedric, I lose, so I don't know what's up with that. And Wulfric is considered the most difficult because he's terrible at everything except for jousting. So we're gonna try Wilfred and see how this goes. Alright, game starts. Find out that the king has been killed, kingdom's in turmoil, crown's missing, and you and the other nobles are fighting over who gets to be king. Robin Hood ends up being your ally, and he tells you that he will help you up to 3 times during the course of the game. Alright, so real quick explanation here. You are the blue guys, and actually my guy specifically is... I gotta put some soldiers in my army so I can even move around here. I'm actually gonna empty out my entire garrison, which isn't the safest, but it's one of the things I do. So my guy is this horse guy up here, and that's my home castle. If my home castle falls, I lose. And these other 2 blue guys are Saxons. They are sort of my allies. They will never intentionally attack me or my castle, but they will accidentally take over my territories when they move their armies through. So you don't want to pick a fight with them. In fact, you want to use them as a sort of meat shield against your true enemies, which are the orange guys, the Normans. My number 1 priority is to defeat one of the Norman players, one of these 3 guys, as fast as I possibly can. Your blue guys, your allies, are complete morons. They are just meat shields, and you'll see very quickly they don't even take over territory as fast as the orange guys. They're worthless. So I need to kind of take command, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim for this guy over here. Real quick, what you're allowed to do in a turn: you can call a tournament, which is pretty well a waste of your turn. Conquest is of moving your armies around. Later you'll see that I can move my army as much as I want, except once I enter a territory that's not mine, my turn ends. but it's helpful if I own most of the map. I can get my entire army from one end to the other. Transfer allows me to move people out of my garrison and into my army so they can actually move. You see my turn doesn't end because I didn't move anywhere yet. I can click go raiding, which means that I choose an enemy. I have a little sword fight, and then I steal a bunch of his gold if I win. And then my turn ends. Buy army. I can buy more soldiers, knights, or catapults. You'll never want to use the pass option, at the very least. At least go raiding so you get more gold the next turn. Anyway, I'm going to move my army into this neutral territory. And my army should actually get bigger when I move into it because there's this thing called vassals. So yeah, there's now 26 guys in my army when I started with 20. And that's because when you take over a neutral territory, you get more people. All right, I'm keeping an eye on this guy. I don't want to hit his army. My ideal situation would be that his army goes away somewhere else. And I just march up here, build some catapults, and then sneak attack his castle. If I can do that, this game will go quickly. If not, it's going to grind to a halt. You'll also notice these blue guys are not taking over territories because they're terrible. Oh, and I'm already attacked by that one guy. So this will be a field battle, and I will probably end up retreating because I will probably be outnumbered. Or even if I have the same numbers, it's usually better to just retreat. So since I press the button, battle will start. Yep, I'm just going to retreat. I don't want to waste my guys. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and... You notice my blue guy allies are still not doing a darn thing. I'm going to go take over this neutral territory because that's going to make my army bigger. And then we're going to see what the orange guys get up to. All right, that blinking is they just took over that territory from me. I'm actually going to retreat to my home castle. And if my army is attacked, I'm at my home castle. Instead of a field battle, I'm going to go into a siege defense, which is much more efficient. I'll lose fewer soldiers usually. So I'm going to go ahead and buy an army, I think. I'm going to need at least one catapult to take over an enemy castle. And then I'd like some more cannon fodder. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right. One of my opponents called the tournament. I'm going to go ahead and joust for fame, which increases my leadership, which makes my soldiers fight better. You can also joust for land, in which you get to take over your enemy's land. But I'm going to go for fame. I'm going to avoid Wulfric, because he's the best at tournaments. And I'm going to go after Cedric, because he's the easiest. Notice that both the Saxons and the Normans are on that list. I'm too lazy to figure out who is who, so I just avoid Wulfric, and I don't care about anybody else. Here's our little jousting minigame. You want to aim... Oof, not good. You want to aim center, but low and left. Too far left, and you'll hit the enemy horse. Which is bad. In this little mini game, I have a disadvantage because I got dehorsed. And what I am doing is waiting till the mace's ball is behind my character, and then I'm doing the attack button. I have control over where my shield is, but I usually just leave it where it is. Oop, and I died. Okay, so I didn't lose anything, but I also didn't gain anything. Meanwhile... Ooh, this is what you want. So, at some point, if there are still Saxon allies, at some point you'll have an option to rescue Rosalind, the maiden. If you succeed, you get a wife. I think she might increase your leadership, maybe your income, but you also get all the lands of that Saxon leader for whatever reason. So we're going to go ahead and do this. And it should succeed. Now, here's something I want to point out. The controls in this game are the worst. So if you have never played this before, you try out the sword play, you're going to be so confused. I can't even describe what I'm doing, but I almost always win. So you advance forward, jab this guy, block, jab that guy, block. Okay. I've taken a couple of hits, but your life bar won't show it right away. Alright, you want to just find a good rhythm. I took that guy out and only took one hit. Eventually my life bar will show me the damage I'm taking. I'm not sure why they programmed it that way. This game's pretty janky, to be honest. Alright, jab that guy, block. Jab him, block, jab him. Jab him, block. That's pretty much it. You just need to find the rhythm of it and hit them more often than they hit you. Every once in a while I get really unlucky or I get really distracted, but usually I win. And then we get the special music and oh my gosh, the graphics though, the graphics. Honestly, for Nintendo, this was pretty cool, but it's kind of a joke to us these days. All right. So you see Rosalind shows up on my status screen now. And then you also see that I own this little thing right here. This is still pretty problematic here. I'm going to leave about 10 guys in my home garrison. And I'm going to try... What I'm worried about is that this guy has his army here. Actually, I'm going to see if I can sneak around on this side and see if I can avoid his army completely. Best case scenario is he takes his army and attacks my home castle, and then they just all die. So I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go here. Here, I'm thinking, usually when you get this castle, it comes with 10 people. I'm going to leave them there, though, because that'll slow down the enemy advance. And then my one question is, should I ask for Robin Hood's help? And I think I will. It's a gamble. If there's no army here, it's going to be a waste of my time. But you got to use Robin wisely. You get to ask him for help 3 times. What happens is, once the field battle starts, he goes through and kills a few of the people before the battle starts. So if I'm going to fight 30 guys, maybe he kills 5 or 10 of them, giving me a little bit better odds. So I'm going to try it. Blah, blah, blah. I expected you, he says. After a moment of thought, he agrees to your request. If a battle happens, then I'll have a slight advantage here. So let's see what happens here. Nope. They took over that one place. No problem. All right. Now this is it. Here's going to be a huge one. If I take this castle, this every territory he owns, 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 here, will immediately become mine, and the game will pretty well tip over to my side. If I mess up, the game's going to drag out much, much longer, and I might lose. So definitely I'm going to go ahead and... Actually, I think I'm going to see if I can steal... Oh, they have 20 guys here. Yeah, no, I'm emptying out that garrison. Maybe leave 5. Move back over here. Ask Robin Hood for help again. And then take this castle, and we're going to go into a siege mode here. All right. The enemy usually keeps about 30 people in their home castle. If I lob disease at them, they'll drop down to 20. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's pretty messed up, but hey. Okay, now, the tricky part is it takes exactly 5 boulders to take down the enemy wall. If I don't take down the enemy wall, the enemy get extra defense bonuses. This part, you can do it visually or you can do it by the audio, but you have to hold down on the D-pad the perfect amount and then let go to hit the wall. So I'm going to try to pull it off. Sometimes I mess this up. Okay, perfect hit. Perfect. Okay, this time I'm just going to hear it click once. Launch it. This time I'm going to tap down on the D-pad once, not even a sound, no click, and it's going to hit. So perfect. All right, we're going to go into a field battle. I'm just going to go ahead and do hold ground because that's just a straight battle. Later, I will, if I get more catapults, you'll see me use bombard, which just obliterates the enemy. You can actually read the manual for idea of what the different actions do, but hold the ground is what you do if you think you're going to win already anyway. And I outnumber them 55 to 15, and I have a catapult, so no problem. Boom. There's a lot of blue. Ooh. And they're attacking my castle. So this is kind of good because the enemy is going to take pretty heavy casualties. And I do want them to do that. So even if I lose, my army will just be reset back to my home castle. So this is great. So the siege defense minigame is I'm basically going to be shooting at people with a crossbow. And again, if I find a good rhythm, you'll see that I'll do more damage than I take. But if you get stressed out and panic, this can get hard. I've read that how fast your crossbow moves is based on your character's leadership ability. And mine's just kind of, I think it was average, wasn't it? So my crossbow is moving much slower than if I was playing Cedric. And then it would be moving faster if I had done that tournament and actually won. But I just defeated a very large army. All right. Some Normans just stole some of my gold, so they can raid you too. But I have lots of income. Now, you'll see there's nobody in my army, and I only have 10 soldiers in my home. That's because my army got emptied into that castle. And then if I look, I've got 9 soldiers left, which is not really great. I'm gonna have to take some time to build up my army again. And I think I'll go ahead. Both the enemies seem about the same strength. So I think what I'm gonna do is raid this guy, take some gold. Next turn, buy an army, and then we'll see where we can go from there. I never know how much gold I'm going to get from a raid. Technically, if the computer's playing by the same rules I do, then they shouldn't be able to buy an army the same turn that they just fought me. So I should at least get 1 turn's worth of gold, or half of that, because you get half the gold on the raid. But and you can see I've played this game so much, this is just sort of automatic. Stab, block, stab, block, stab, stab. For most people just starting out this game, the controls are, I can only imagine they'd be infuriating. All right. And my blue guy just actually took a territory, but then looks like he immediately lost it. Oh, wow, that's a lot of gold. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to win the game pretty quickly here now. So I'm going to go ahead and buy army. I like having lots of catapults, so then I can go into the bombard strategy, which does heavy damage. So that should be enough soldiers and catapults, I think, to take over 1 more castle. So let's see. Oop. My army's being attacked, so we'll do the crossbow defense again. This is the worst situation when they keep spawning on opposite ends because the crossbow has to go all the way across the screen, and I missed, so if you lose that rhythm, you start taking hits. And I'm going to lose this battle, I think. Yep. You'll see my army got teleported home. So, okay, and it was that guy. All right. I'm going to ignore the other guy for now. So army got teleported home. I'm actually going to empty out my entire garrison because they can't just sneak straight there if I take over this territory. So I'm going to do that first. I'm going to switch to bombard, and you'll see that enemy losses are heavy. Now, enemy knights do a lot of damage too, but I just am not that interested in them. All right, and then I got attacked again. I will also do a bombard on this one. Okay, I am going to need more cannon fodder before I start the castle. But I'm going to go one more turn so I can get within striking distance of this guy's castle. And I defeated 2 armies there, so they shouldn't have that much of an army left. They should be rebuilding. So 14, yeah. Boom, and then they're dead. You see, once you're already winning, it just sort of compounds on itself, and you keep winning. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and buy the cannon fodder I need. Let's see. I'll do one more catapult, because I love catapults. They'll make when I switch to bombard, you'll see the enemy damage go down even faster. Tournament. Okay. I still want to buff my leadership, so here we go. So like I said before, I'm trying to aim for the center of the shield, but a little bit left, a little bit down. Too far left, I get the horse, and that's bad. You lose all your territories, and I think, yeah, it's bad. If you miss a little bit to the right, a little bit up, you'll lose the joust part. So I'm going to crank a little bit left, a little bit down. That might be too far down. Let's see. Nope. So you can see down is better than up. If I press B, my shield goes up. I let go, it goes back down. I don't really worry about it much. I just wait till my ball is at the rear, and then boom, boom, boom. Done. Much easier if you win the joust first. I don't know these other guys' stats. I just know I don't want to do Wolfric, so. Okay, left. Ooh, what the heck? I was pressing left and down and nothing happened, so that was weird. Okay, let's try this again. Left, down, oof. These controls are not great. All right, you only get 3 passes, I think, and then you have to just duke it out. So let's see if I can get it this time. I don't know if this guy is like really good at jousting or what, but my lance is out of control. I almost got the horse that time. All right, so I press nothing if I want to hit the top, and then I press down if I want to swing low, like that. Boom. All right, one more, and then my leadership is probably going to be maxed out, so here we go. A little bit left, a little bit down. All right, it's pretty close to center, but a little bit right. Let's see. All right, I won. All right. And there's a little bit of recovery time if you successfully hit your opponent, so that's what I take advantage of. If you nail them once, you can just keep wailing on them. Looks like they're coming at me again, so just switch to bombard. And boom. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and combine the soldiers from my home garrison. I'm going to leave one guy, but it's kind of just a placeholder, really. All right, and I should have one more use of Robin Hood, so I'll go ahead and use that. And then take over this guy. So again, he's got 30 guys in this garrison. Let's throw disease at him, and it should be 20. And then I need to hit with all 5 boulders if I want that wall down. Perfect. That's usually my hardest one. All right, 1 click. And no click. All right, perfect. Switch to bombard, and it'll be dead in no time. All right. One thing you can see the enemy doing here is he's been building castles down here. It's the same mechanic as the big home castles, except they usually keep only about 10 troops in there, sometimes 20. I'm not going to bother. I'm going to go straight for his home castle, because if I take that, then I win. So I'm going to go ahead and head this way. And then you can tell where his army is because he is now attacking that. I didn't have any defenders, so it immediately fell. But I don't care because I'm going straight for his home castle. I'm going to go ahead and take one more territory. That's going to be annoying. Oh, that's a friendly one. Okay. I actually get to show you something here. Okay, so I'm going to buy an army. And I'm going to go ahead and buy, we'll say one more castle, or catapult, excuse me. I need about 20 more cannon fodder, and then let's go ahead and do a bunch of knights. And spend the rest. Okay. Oh, my blue guy actually did something, but he failed. Okay, so the reason the blue guys are your allies is if I click my army here, it says, do you seek safe passage through my land? I say accept, and I can move through safely. I can go all the way home, put all my soldiers into my big army. I'll just empty them all out. Take 7 knights, 5 catapults, move all the way across the entire country again. Yep. And then here we go. I'm out of Robin Hoods, but I know these guys probably won't have... They'll probably have 30 guys plus whoever, like however many armies they were building up at the time. But if the army's out here in the field somewhere, then they'll just be 30 here like usual. So let's take a look. Yep, 30. So disease them. Down to 20 defenders. Okay. About 3 clicks for that one. About 2 clicks for that one. I'm talking about that sound that catapult makes. Oop. I missed that one. It wasn't supposed to click. All right. So the enemies will have a kind of a defense bonus because I didn't take the wall down all the way. But with my army, I should be fine. Yeah, they're doing fine. I didn't even switch to bombard. And that's it. Because I never went to war with that other guy, the other Saxon guy, it's considered a Saxon victory, even though I didn't defeat him. He's my ally, so game's over. I won. And of course, spoiler warning, Robin Hood stole the crown, and now he's going to give it to me, and now I'm king. And that's it. Let's get real here. Objectively speaking, this game isn't that good. The controls are outright terrible, the friendly AI players are useless, and the enemy AI is brutal. And yet there is something about it that keeps me coming back. I seriously play this game all the way through a couple times per year. Maybe it's the fantasy of being a self-made king, of fighting your way to the throne. Maybe it's the challenge. As experienced as I am, I never know when I start if I'm going to win or lose. Or maybe it's the length of the game. As much as I love playing old school strategy games like Alpha Centauri or Lords of the Realm 2, those games can take hours upon hours. Defender of the Crown can take as little as 10 to 20 minutes with a solid strategy and just a bit of luck. But what do you guys think? Do you have any fond memories of this game? Have you tried the remakes that came out in the PlayStation 2 era? Let me know in the comments.